Hello, MJ Clemenco here, psychotherapist and life coach. Last night I talked about a person who's been betrayed deciding to stay in the relationship and some of the things that are important to think about. Tonight I'd like to talk about the person who is the one who's cheating or being unfaithful or betraying their partner. First of all, in any relationship, people who have been together for a long time will find that the so-called honeymoon does end. What can happen after that, though? And by that I mean the excitement and the butterflies and all of that. It does die down. But what can occur after that is a much deeper, quieter love. And so don't mistake there not being a lot of, I don't know, excitement uh, as being there not being a lot of love. If you find that you have lost the excitement in your relationship and this is distressing to you to the point where you really feel like you don't even really want to be in the marriage or the relationship, that's fine. But if you feel like you don't want to be in a marriage or a partnership or whatever type of relationship it is, it, it isn't going to help if you have an affair. In fact, it's going to keep you married or in the relationship longer. Extramarital affairs actually make bad relationships more tolerable. The other thing that they do is they make bad relationships worse because even if your partner doesn't know consciously that you're being unfaithful, it alters the energy in the relationship and they feel something and you'll feel something. But it's something that isn't named. It's something that can't be fixed because it's not talked about. Now, you may meet someone at work or somewhere else and uh, decide that, or not even decide. I don't really think affairs are decided. They happen. But if you find yourself drifting into that situation, it really would be much better if you could first say to your partner, I'm not happy in this relationship. And say it without accusing, without being histrionic, and hopefully your partner can listen to you. If you don't think that can happen, then you need to ask your partner to go to counseling with you. Um, and if all else fails, you need to tell your partner that you are not going to be in a relationship as bad as the one you're in and remain bound to that contract. Um, if your partner doesn't want to have sex with you and is putting you off. And I don't mean you running in the house and saying, have sex with me. I mean, if you're getting along and things are good and your partner, for whatever reason, decides they no longer want to have sex with you or mostly don't want to have sex with you, you need to talk to your partner about changing the contract because it is not okay for one person in a partnership to end the sex life of two people. It's okay for them not to sleep with somebody they don't want to sleep with. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but nobody can or should force the other person to have sex. But what you have a right to do is say, okay, you're changing the contract that we made or the implied contract that we made when we became a couple. And we need to change it. If you don't want to have sex with me and we can't figure out why, we can't figure out how to make our relationship more exciting, more passionate, and that, by the way, does take two people wanting to do that, then you need to change the terms of your relationship. It may sound very difficult, it may sound impossible to do, but if you don't do something before you have the affair, it's a lot harder to do later. And eventually, if it goes on long enough, your relationship will disintegrate. Whether your partner finds out or doesn't find out, your relationship will disintegrate. It may seem tough on the front end to bring it up and be firm about it, to say, I'm not happy. We don't have a sex life. We don't have a love life. We never do fun things. Oh, I forgot. Don't ever say never. We don't have fun things to do. We don't plan things. And listen to what your partner has to say about why they think that these things are occurring. But at the end of the day, it's important for you to remember nobody can end your sex life. They can only end their sex life. And if they do, then you have every right to say, we need to renegotiate this contract, the implied or stated contract. You may have children. You may be a family. That's fine. People change their contracts. There are open marriages. There are don't ask, don't tell policies. There's marriage counseling, relationship counseling. There are all kinds of things that can be done besides you being unfaithful and not liking yourself, feeling guilty, being fearful of getting caught, actually getting caught, which is really a very unpleasant situation. Anybody who's been through that can tell you. Um, so if you find yourself drifting into some sort of relationship, uh, sexual relationship, and sometimes people will say they had an online affair where they actually never had sex, but they had the affair, what they call an affair of the heart, and that's also something that's important to take a look at. Um, but being honest up front about what you need, what's not happening, what's bothering you, without accusing or name calling or being mean-spirited about it, will change things. It might be tougher at first, but it will change things, and that's what you want. And like I said earlier in this clip, if you just have an affair, it's helping you stay in a miserable relationship. Why would anyone want to do that? And why would you want to feel like you're a cheater or you're a liar? Why would you want to feel like you're the bad guy or the bad girl? I would think that you wouldn't want to, but you suddenly find yourself in a situation that's very exciting and you don't want to pass it by. I do understand that. But what I'm saying is there are better ways to go about making your life more passionate, more exciting. Even if this is a person you really do want to have a relationship with, it isn't fair for you to have a secret relationship, a secret affair, while your partner thinks they are in a one-on-one relationship with you, because you're not letting them do the same thing. You're spicing up your life, but you're not letting them spice up their life. That's not okay either. It's very selfish. So if you want to spice up your life, and even if, let's say this person, you really believe you're in love with this person, then have the courage to end the relationship you're in, no matter how painful it is, so you can go on and have a rewarding new relationship, a happier life, if that's what you believe will happen. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have good sex lives, shouldn't have passion in their relationships, because they should. They deserve that. Everybody has a right to pleasure. When things break down, very often one person in the partnership betrays the other one, and then it doesn't get fixed. Nothing gets fixed. At the end of the day, is that what you really want? There are very good therapists who can really help you and your partner get through this, whether it's helping you and your partner figure out what went wrong and how to revive your relationship, or if your relationship cannot be revived, how to separate in a way that is the least painful, the least hurtful. I'm just as capable of doing divorce counseling as I am in doing marriage counseling. So a therapist will be able to help you do whatever it is you need. That will allow you to keep your integrity. That will allow you to not stay locked into a dead relationship. And in the end, it's a lot better. It's a lot better for you. It's a lot better for your partner. And very often, if people take this on, they can avoid having an extramarital affair or uh, another relationship. They can recognize this as a warning sign, and they can revive. They can figure out what went wrong, what's not working. And it, that actually, at the end of the day, if that can happen, and I'm sure you will agree with me, is the best solution of all. Good night.